Hello and welcome back. If you're first time here, please welcome in and I hope you enjoy the video. So we are going really old school here and we are going back to the days of taping up a tumbler and making our pencil out of painter's tape and everything. So I wanted to show y'all how easy it can be, that you don't have to have a Cricut or, anything in the sense that you don't have to cut something up. You could do it all by hand, all by yourself. I just took painter's tape here and I had this like 2-inch painter's tape and it was like so awesome, but I'm completely out of it. So I was having to double up everything here. So I used two of the 1-inch here to make the eraser, right? And then I'm going to put another one at the bottom. What I'm doing off camera that you can't see is I'm trying to take off some of that stickiness. I did let this paint dry for like 24 hours or more, but it still has a tendency to, if it's just really super sticky, which painter's tape isn't, but I just never really take that chance. So I just kind of put it on my shirt a little bit and do it that way. So now I'm going to the bottom and I am putting just the line there that I'm going to use for like that lead piece, that darker piece that goes to the bottom. And you could always do this the opposite way. I don't know why, but it does not make any sense to me if it's a pencil like sitting up in the thing, but I know a lot of people do it that way. But for me, it doesn't. It's like, no, I can't do it. Anyways, so what I did for the pencil, like the wood part of it, I put 2 strips of this painter's tape. So I made it a 2-inch wide space so that I could cut, bigger triangles in the end, and I did not do any kind of uniformity on these either. So that was another thing that I just was like, I'm just going to go for like the more natural look to it. And that's exactly what I did. I just kind of tried to make them I didn't even really try to make them uniformed. I just kind of was like, okay, this one seems about this wide. This one seems about this wide. I did have a couple that were like a little bit, off, like smaller than the other and that kind of thing, but that's okay. I like the naturalness of the cuts being a little bit kind of off and weird and kind of crazy, because when you sharpen a pencil, it doesn't come out perfect, so that's what I like about it. But if that was to bother you more than, and I completely understand because things bother me too, then I would maybe like space it out or cut it a little bit better the first time before you put the tape on. So here are all of our colors. We have well, you know what? I'm going to list them down below, because if I start saying them right now, I'll probably say them throughout the process. But anyways, those are the colors that we did. Very pencil-like, very school-like in the colors there. There's a couple mistakes that I made, because literally I have not done a pencil like this in forever. Normally now I just cut it out of the vinyl and do, just do like where the pencil part of it is like some kind of design. And then I cut and, peel off the pieces that are there for the eraser and, the wood part and all of that, and then do the painting. So it's been a while. So, I will tell you what I did that was a little bit wrong. And then that way you can, be better. This is fun right here. This was really fun. I made a big old mess on my table. So yeah, make sure you clean off the tip of your glitter glue thing before you go squirting it out there, or you're going to have a mess to clean up. So I just kind of took my paintbrush and was like, give me that glitter glue, and put it back into where it's supposed to go. Anyways, got that cleaned up. So I did paint the first, layer with some pink there. And then I went in with a little bit more pink and some of that glitter glue because I wanted to make sure that we had a good base. Now, the other thing about this was the color of glitter that I was using is a gorgeous pink and it works really pretty with this, type of look, but it is a little bit more of like a see-through, like iridescent type of color. So you want to make sure you're getting a really good, solid color underneath it because it will show. And so I did have some of it showing, which I was fine with because it just kind of looked a little bit natural, like a, anyways, just take that into consideration is more of what I'm trying to say. So here's where I screwed up. I took off those strips and then I just threw them away, but I could have used one of those strips that were at the top. I could have used one of those to cover that bottom part of so that I could have a nice line going around for that silver part of the pencil. So just keep that in mind, so you're not wasting another piece of tape when you're doing this. So just take one of those two strips and just put it on the bottom of that other strip. Then you can take that top strip off and you have a nice solid line to follow. So that pink was Regina George, and this silver is a gorgeous silver. It is called Guy Diamond, and it is a very, very silver holographic, and I just wanted to kind of have some fun here. I just thought it would add a little bit of pizzazz, and that's kind of where you can do this sometimes. Maybe the eraser, maybe, the rest of it, I was trying to make it look pretty normal, pretty, standard look of a pencil, but I just thought I'd have a little bit of fun with this. And that Guy Diamond has a really awesome holographic, rainbow look to it, so I thought it would be fun. So back when I got this palette, like one of the first palettes that I got after becoming an affiliate with her, it was like the Diggory and Umbrage pack. And that Diggory, I had said in that video that it would make the perfect yellow for a pencil. And then we've got Diggory, and this is a perfect pencil yellow in my opinion. This is the one we've been looking for. Gorgeous, gorgeous yellow, golden yellow. Love it. See, I told you, I said that. So as soon as I had the idea in my head, which I will tell you what inspired this whole entire tumbler here in a little bit, but this was one of the things that I was like, absolutely, I haven't done like a true yellow classic pencil, number 2 type of pencil, so I'm gonna do that on this one. And I was like, and I'm for sure gonna use Diggory because I have not, been able to come full circle and do what I said, that it's a perfect pencil yellow. So anyways, I wanted to share that I did say that, and I am going to follow through with it. So anyways, I wiped off a little bit of that at the bottom there. I definitely was not doing it that fast. But this part, it's always so difficult to like decide on what is the best way to do these triangles, this whole section here, because you've got, glue, and the glitter glue doesn't really dry all that fast, but you're not putting that much on there. So you are, I don't know. I just always get nervous because I guess I just worked with Mod Podge for so long. So I just went in and did like 3 of them. And then you kind of have like a clumpy little line in between them. And it's always hard to kind of decide what is the best way to do these. But I think whatever way that you do it and whichever way you feel more comfortable and you think is the most successful way is the right way as far as I'm concerned. So anyways, I finished up this wood part here. I didn't use any paint in there because these glitters that come from Peachy Olive Glitters, especially this one here, this metallic is just like a full coverage. So I didn't really need to have the color. Also, I wasn't too concerned with it being like super, super gold. I really wanted the pink to show and I really wanted the yellow to show. That's kind of why sometimes I do put that base color underneath. If you don't want it to be that bright or you just want it to be kind of a muted color, If that's what you're going for, then you absolutely can just slap it on there with some under the white paint. You will get coverage, really good coverage. It just won't be as vibrant. And that's kind of just why I did that. So with this one, it wasn't a big deal for me to use just the regular white paint underneath. And went in and removed all of those little blue pieces there around that so that they wouldn't dry with the yellow paint or that gold paint. So while I was just kind of letting all that dry, I decided I would go ahead and do the bottom part. I used Prestige for this bottom part. I will say, I mean, I absolutely love the color. It's not that I don't love any of these colors, but when I put it on, I didn't realize that it had kind of this brownish gold tinge to it, which I'm cool with, but I feel like the graphite color would be better served if it has a little bit more of a silver tinge to it than it does have a brown tinge. I pour out all of my samples of my glitter and put them into epoxy, but for some reason it just didn't seem like it was going to be as brown. Maybe it was because it was up against that gold. I don't know, but it was perfectly fine. It did not cause any problems. Nobody's ever going to notice, but it was just like me personally. Maybe I would have used something that was a little more black and silver. Totally random. Just wanted to let y'all know. So then I went in and did those little triangle spaces where the, where it was left open from pulling off that tape. I did have a little bit of discolorization just from, because that part had kind of dried. And anyways, the only reason I wasn't too concerned with it was because we were going to be putting decals and different things on top of here. So I wasn't too concerned. If that would have been something concerning to you, you might want to take that off and do it at the same time. It's just one of those things. It didn't really bother me all that much, but that was because I knew what was coming as far as the design. So up to you. But anyways, I did all these triangles in that yellow, and then we went on to sealing it. So I did just kind of start at the top there, and every time I got done with my brush, every time I got done with one section, I went and cleaned my brush and came back and did the next section and really tried to get like as much of the glitters out of there. But I did start kind of from the top and go down so that I didn't have, anything that was a darker color into one of those lighter colors. So just something you want to take into consideration. Clean your brush or have several brushes there and then go clean them all, whatever you want to do. But this is how I did it. And anytime I use the glitter glue, I absolutely love it. It seals phenomenally. I do not have any problems, but I will tell you this. I always let it dry like overnight because I have a tendency, I guess, maybe to use too much. I did start to do what Mallory Pagnotta says, which is mix half in water and half in the glitter glue, but I had a whole bottle of it and I was waiting for it to go down to be a half, and then I filled it up with water. So now I'm going to start trying to use that, and maybe it might not dry as thick and clumpy, but I do wait for quite some time if I'm just using it as a full solid glitter glue like that, just like straight out of the bottle with no water added. And I don't show the sanding very often, but I just, sometimes I like to just kind of throw things like this in here so that you can see that everybody goes through all of those things, that you have to sand them down. You have to get those edges smooth and, and I was going to do vinyl work. So I really wanted to make sure that I didn't have any lumps or bumps because the vinyl would show it, or if it would have, it just didn't have a smooth surface to kind of go over and wrap around the tumbler. So I did do some sanding here. So I started off with just a black glitter vinyl that I just had, and really honestly I kind of went in and just got all of the pinstriping strips that I had going on in my drawers. I honestly probably didn't cut but maybe one thing. I think I maybe cut the black. But anyways, other than that, I just used like the pinstripes. When I do pinstripes, I just cut extra and then just leave them in the drawer. So I just went through and kind of found what I wanted. I did do this section first, this the bottom part, the triangles. I think it's really almost just your aesthetic and what you like, because you could have definitely done the longer strips going up the pencil before and then done this. I did it afterwards and it just seemed to kind of sit right on top. And I think it's just honestly like just kind of your opinion, or whether or not you're going to do the pencil the opposite way, upside down, in my opinion, but or are you going to do it this way? But I think it's just whatever you are confident with, whatever you feel like is going to look the best, and then just go for that. And then, like I said, I just put that strip right on top of those two pieces that met there, and then I brought it all the way up to that silver part. And then after we got done with that, I was going to go over the whole top part of that with that another silver piece that is already on there. I was putting them on first, and then I thought, no, I don't want to do that. I want to put the silver on top of this gold part. So anyways, we did that, and then we did the silver stripe. And I did, because I did a lot of touching and feeling and moving and turning and a lot of vinyl on this, I just went ahead and said, I'm going to seal this up. When I did the sanding, I went and cleaned it with some Dish Dawn soap, Dish Dawn, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And I cleaned it up really well, and then I came back, and then I put the vinyl on there, and then after that, I just went in with this outdoor stuff that I got from Folk Art, a polyacrylic, a Mod Podge, anything like that, a clear coat from CCDY or whatever will work as well. But those are definitely, you definitely want to seal something like this, especially with that holographic vinyl. You don't want to just go straight into epoxy. You're going to probably have some lifting, fingerprint, whatever it is, just make sure that you seal it. I think you're going to get much better results that way. Then, of course, after you let that dry, that stuff dries pretty quick, about 30-45 minutes, and then I'm into a coat of epoxy. I went in to, after I sealed it, went in with that coat of epoxy, and then we're going to go into our next steps. So recently, you may have noticed, if you follow on my Facebook or anything on Instagram, social media, I guess I should say, I have become an affiliate with 311 Co. Now, this is a friend of mine that I've known for quite some time here in the Tumblr community, and I got the opportunity to have her print some of my designs. She's pretty much exclusively printing my designs at this point, but I do have them for sale on my website. Now, this design here is not mine. It is our friend Lacey Wynn over at the Quilted Paisley. She did this, these school elements, which I thought was really cool, and that's why I was like, okay, we're gonna fill this thing up with all the teacher designs, you know, all these little fun teacher things that come, you know, with a teacher. And this Teacher Vibes thing is from North 80. I have had this pack, it comes in this like teacher pack or whatever that North 80 does, and I've had this pack forever, and it has lasted me a long time. I have done a lot of teacher things with these decals, and so I just went with this because I thought, you know what, it is teacher vibes. Like all these things are what a teacher has, you know, the paints, the crayons, the pencils, the chalkboard, that kind of thing. Although I don't think they use chalkboards anymore, but you know what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. But anyways, these elements were hand drawn by Lacey. And so I just wanted to use them all, you know, on this tumbler and just kind of fill it up with, and just really make it a lot of fun. Obviously, I had no, you know, direction in which I was going here, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to put it on the back side because I did have one of those pencil pieces that were like really skinny. And so I thought, you know what, I'll just put this over it, kind of disguise that. And it worked out perfect because it's just a long straight ruler. So it worked out. These are clear, and they're just clear all the way through. They don't have any white print, but that was fine because what I wanted was just kind of like these ghostly feels of these different things that a teacher, you know, has, and just the fun little aspects of these little elements that she made. And so I just went around and kind of cut off as much of the backing, you know, all around it as much as possible, because sometimes it's not like they really don't show, and they should go away, but it's just more of like, if something is on top of something else, if I want to put something there, if there's too much of that excess, it's going to show underneath. So I always just kind of cut them a little bit more, but maybe than I should. But anyways, these are super adorable. They're just so classic in their nature, which that's what I loved about them, was that I was like, I'm going to go traditional with the pencil. I'm going to go traditional with the colors. And then I'm going to use these very classic, you know, almost kid-like versions of these elements that the teacher has. And I just thought it would be just really, you know, very fun for a teacher to have. And that's why I went with it. This one, I took the paintbrush, and because it was a red paint, the red on the paintbrush, and then I just kind of put it right up next to that apple, because I thought it'd be kind of fun, like it was being painted. But anyways, I digress. I went around, put a lot of these elements on there, had a fun time. Please go check out the 311 Co. and check out all of the beautiful, wonderful people that are designing on there, me included, if you want to say. And anyways, we're having a great time. We're going to be at TumblerCon with her. I'm very excited. Anyways, go check out the website. Paxton 10% off. She's based here in Texas. She's like 45 minutes from me, so you'll probably see me visiting her very soon. So then after that, because once again, we're touching it, feeling it, all of this stuff, I just went in with a coat of Mod Podge. This, because these decals are already sealed. They really don't need a sealing or anything to seal them with, but I just always feel like when I have been fondling a cup and just doing all these things to it, that I just need to seal it up just to give it a really nice base, to where we can put those coats of epoxy on and we don't have any fish eyes or bubbling or anything. And those could be the reason why you have some of those sometimes. So sealing it up is really a benefit. But these are perfectly fine to just put under epoxy, not a big deal. But I just wanted to share that is why I'm sealing these. And after that, we went in with our final coats of epoxy, did 2 coats of epoxy after this. And because you could still kind of feel a little bit of the feel of those decals. Anyways, I'm using Flynn Sisters epoxy. It is amazing. Really is one of the best epoxies that I've ever used. And they're just amazing. Anyways, if you haven't tried it, you should. She just came out with a fast set too. Very excited about that. But anyways, went into our final coats, and that was it. And there she is. So beautiful, so cute. I did a post, and I had a bunch of teachers comment that was super, super cute. So that made me happy that they actually really liked it, and that it did, you know, give them those teacher vibes, and just, you know, really made them feel special. And so anyways, really love it. Please like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Please check out all the links and everything, and join my Facebook group, and I'll see you next time.